It's Annie from the youth room at the BB Library, and I'm so glad that you could join me for another virtual story time today. We'll enjoy some stories together, we'll sing some songs, and we'll do a craft together as well. Now today, I wanted to share a couple stories with you that I love about some pretty silly animals. The first one I wanted to share with you is called The Story of Fish and Snail. And this book is by Deborah Friedman, and this is all about a fish and a snail who live in the same story together. So we'll follow some of their adventures in their story. And the other book I want to share with you today is called Silly Tilly. And this book is written by Eileen Spinelli, and the drawings were done by David Sloman. And this is all about Silly Tilly, who, you might have guessed from looking, is a pretty silly goose. So we'll see what mischief Tilly gets up to all around the farm. And for today's craft, since we're talking a little bit about some silly animals, I thought we could make a pufferfish craft. And this is a pretty cool pufferfish because it's going to pop up from the page. Now, pufferfish, they can get pretty big, and sometimes they make a face like, so we're going to make our own little pufferfish just like that. And here's mine. You can see it's popped up from the page a little bit. So to make your pop-up pufferfish, we're just going to need a couple of things. First, you are going to need some construction paper. You can use any color that you like. You are also going to need some markers. You can use crayons or colored pencils as well. You are going to need a pair of scissors. You are also going to need some tape or some glue, whichever one you like, either is fine. And last but not least, you're going to need a stapler. And we will make our pop-up pufferfish after we enjoy some stories together and after we sing a couple of songs as well. So let's go ahead and we'll get started. And let's begin with our song, Hello Friends. And this is our song. We're going to use a little bit of American Sign Language to help us sing this one. So I'll show you the signs and then we'll jump right in and sing it together. So the first sign we need for Hello Friends is hello. And I'm just going to take my hand and give a little salute. Hello. Friends, I'm going to take my 2 pointer fingers and just go crisscross, give them a little tap on each other. Friends. It's time. I'm going to tap my wrist for time. To say, I point to my lips for say. Hello. And I do my salute again. Ready to sing? Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. That was excellent. Now, before we read our first story, let's just wake up a couple of our body parts first. I need to wake some of my body parts up. Let's start by waking up our hands, and let's wake them up with some claps. Ready? We wake up our hands with a clap, 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 clap. Clap, 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 we wake up our hands with a clap, 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 and we wiggle our waggles away. We wake up our knees with a march, 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 march. We wake up our knees with a march, 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 and we wiggle our waggles away. We wake up our wrists with a twist, 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 twist. Twist, 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 we wake up our wrists with a twist, 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 and we wiggle our waggles away. Let's get all those wiggles out. Ready? One big wiggle. Phew. Well, I am feeling ready for our first story. How about we jump right in and start reading? So for our first one, this is going to be the story of Fish and Snail. And this book was written by Deborah Friedman. And who do we see here on this page? I see someone making a splash jumping into this book. Who do you think that could be? Well, let's keep reading and see if we can figure it out. Every day, Snail sits in one special spot, waiting for Fish to come home with a story. "Ahoy, Snail!" yells Fish. "Guess what? I found a new book." "A new book? Does it have princesses or kittens? Will you tell me about the story, Fish?" "But I want to show you this time, Snail." "Oh, Fish, you know I don't want to go into other books. I like this book." "Ugh, Snail, I promise we can come back here later. The new book has a whole ocean and a secret treasure and a pirate ship." "A pirate ship? Oh, Fish, I do not like to play big dogs or monsters or pirates. I want to play kittens and sleep right here." "Oh, but Snail, sleeping cats are boring." "Boring? Well, Fish, if you think I am so blah and your new book is so wow, then maybe you would rather live there with no snail." "Well, maybe I would," says Fish, "and maybe I'll go be a pirate by myself and never come back." Uh-oh. "Well, fine," says Snail. "Fine, Snail," says Fish. "Goodbye, the end." What do you think's going to happen now? Is this the end of the story? Let's find out. But what happened? It looks like they had an argument. They had a fight. And it looks like Fish is leaving the book. "That's not how this book is supposed to end," says Snail. "How can this be the story of Fish and Snail with no... Fish? Fish? Do you see Fish on this page? But Fish is down in that book and Snail is up in this book. How's Snail gonna find Fish up there? Fish! And splash! Let's see what kind of book Snail has ended up in looking for Fish. Fish! Where are you? Snail? Snail, you came! You are very brave. Brave enough to be a pirate? Asked Snail. Of course. Or maybe, Fish says. What fish? A kitty pirate. Together again, the friends set sail. Jolly pirate Fish and first cat mate Snail. And off they go on their new adventure where they get to play pirates like Fish wants and play kittens like Snail wants. So they were able to resolve their differences and become friends again. Now, before we do our next story, I need to get a couple of my wiggles out. Do you want to get some wiggles out with me? I'm going to start by wiggling my fingers like this. Can you wiggle your fingers? And what about your toes? Can you give your toes a little wiggle? And what else can we wiggle? Maybe our shoulders? Can you wiggle your shoulders a little bit? And how about your nose? Can you wiggle your nose like a bunny rabbit? Let's try them all together. Ready? I wiggle my fingers. I wiggle my toes. I wiggle my shoulders. And I wiggle my nose. Phew! Now all the wiggles are out of me and I'm as still can be. Let's start with our next story. So this next one is Silly Tilly, who is one silly goose. Let's see what kinds of silly things this silly goose gets up to. And this book is written by Eileen Spinelli, and the drawings were done by David Sloman. Silly Tilly. Tilly was a silly goose, a daffy down and dilly goose who took her baths in apple juice. She wore a pancake as a hat. She tried to ride the farmer's cat. She kissed a fish. Imagine that! Have you ever seen a goose doing any of these things? I don't think I've ever seen a goose riding a cat or kissing a fish or wearing a pancake as a hat. Tilly liked to tickle frogs and kick a pickle to the hogs and hop on top of soggy logs. She combed her feathers with a rake. She sailed Pig's pail across the lake. She sat on Rooster's birthday cake. One day, her friend said, "That's enough! Enough of all your silly stuff!" Their barnyard voices sounded gruff. So how are her friends feeling? Let's see. They look pretty angry to me. Let's see what happens. No more naps in Scarecrow's pants. No packing Piglet off to France. No yodels at the harvest dance. So what's happening here? They're telling Tilly to not be so silly. The weeks went by and Tilly Goose stopped being such a silly goose. "Good job," said Cousin Billy Goose. But how does Tilly feel now? She looks pretty sad to me. It happened, though, that Hedda Hen remarked, "I haven't laughed since..." When? Oh, since Tilly chased the garbage men. "Since Tilly sneezed," said Harvey Goat, "and blew the fleas from Farmer's coat and set his underwear afloat." "It's Dullsville on the farm. No fun. I think I speak for everyone," said Horse. "I know what must be done." So now that Tilly's not being so silly, no one's laughing or having any fun on the farm. What do you think they'll do now? Let's see. And so they did apologize with quacks and oinks and heartfelt sighs to silly Tilly's Great surprise! Now Tilly's back to her old ways. She soaks her feet in mayonnaise and sleds downhill on cookie trays. She glues blue glitter on the plow and turns 6 cartwheels on the cow. And all the farm is happy now. So everyone's having a good time again now that Tilly's making everyone laugh with her silly jokes. Well, those were some good stories. Thank you for reading them with me. How about we sing a couple of songs together now before we do our craft? Let's start with one where we can move our hands around a little bit. Let's do open, shut them. Ready? And we'll sing this 2 times together. Ready? Open, shut them, open, shut them. Give a little clap, clap, clap. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Put them in your lap, lap, lap. Creep them, crawl them, creep them, crawl them, right up to your chin, chin, chin. Open wide, your little mouth, but do not let them in. One more time, ready? Open, shut them, open, shut them. Give a little clap, clap, clap. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Put them in your lap, lap, lap. Creep them, crawl them, creep them, crawl them. Right up to your chin, chin, chin. Open wide, your little mouth, but do not let them in. Great job! Now, we got to see some animals on the barnyard, so for our next song, I thought we could do one of my favorites, where we're going to use our hands and our arms and our voices to become a certain animal that you might see on the farm. So you want to listen to my words and follow my actions. Let's see what happens. Ready? Put your hands up high, put your hands down low, put your hands in the middle and wiggle just so. Put your elbows in the front, put your elbows in the back, put your elbows to the side and quack, quack, quack. What animal did we become? Quack, quack, quack. A duck! Let's sing that again. Ready? Put your hands up high, put your hands down low, put your hands in the middle and wiggle just so. Put your elbows in the front, put your elbows in the back, put your elbows to the side and quack, quack, quack. Do you think we can do that even faster? Let's give it a try. Ready? Put your hands up high, put your hands down low, put your hands in the middle and wiggle just so. Put your elbows in the front, put your elbows in the back, put your elbows to the side and quack, quack, quack. Do you know what? I think we can do it even faster than that. Let's try. Ready? Put your hands up high, put your hands down low, put your hands in the middle and wiggle just so. Put your elbows in the front, put your elbows in the back, put your elbows to the side and quack, quack, quack. Great job. That was a speedy one there. That was great. Now, I have another song that we could sing, and since we did read a story featuring a fish, and we're also going to make a pufferfish craft today, I thought we could do the song Bubble Bubble Pop. And I really like this one because it helps me remember my colors, and it also helps me with counting up to 5. So we'll see different numbers of fish in different colors. So let's see who we have first here for Bubble Bubble Pop. How many fish do you see? I see 1 fish. And what color is this fish? Looks red to me. Let's do 1 little red fish. Ready? One little red fish swimming in the water, swimming in the water, swimming in the water. One little red fish swimming in the water, bubble, 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 pop. And next we have, how many fish? 1, 2. And what color are these 2 fish? Blue. 2 little blue fish swimming in the water, swimming in the water, swimming in the water. 2 little blue fish swimming in the water, bubble, 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 pop. And how many now? 1, 2, 3. And what color are these 3 fish? Yellow. Ready? 3 little yellow fish swimming in the water, swimming in the water, swimming in the water. 3 little yellow fish swimming in the water, bubble, 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 pop. And how many now? 1, 2, 3, 4. And what color are these 4 fish? Green. 4 little green fish. Ready? 4 little green fish swimming in the water, swimming in the water, swimming in the water. 4 little green fish swimming in the water, bubble, 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 pop. All right, last one. Let's see how many fish we have now. Oh, we have a lot this time. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fish. And what color are these 5 fish? These 5 fish look orange. Ready? 5 little orange fish. 5 little orange fish swimming in the water, swimming in the water, swimming in the water. 5 little orange fish swimming in the water, bubble, 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 pop! Great job! Now, how about we do one more song before we do our craft together? And for our last song today, we'll sing Goodbye, Friends. Now, this is pretty similar to our first song, Hello, Friends, but this time, instead of saying hello, we're going to say goodbye. And we're going to use some American Sign Language to help us sing this one too. So the first sign that we need is goodbye. And I'm just going to give my hand a little wave. Goodbye. Friends. I take my 2 pointer fingers and I go criss, cross. Friends. It's time. I tap my wrist for time. To say, I point to my lips for say. Goodbye. And I give a little wave again. Ready? Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. That was excellent. Thank you so much for singing with me. Let's go ahead and start on our craft now. So today we're making some pop-up pufferfish. Blop, blop, blop. And to make your pop-up pufferfish, that's hard to say really fast, isn't it? Pop-up pufferfish. We're going to need a couple of things for these pop-up pufferfish. That's construction paper. We are also going to need some markers. We are going to need a pair of scissors. And we are going to need some tape or some glue, either one that you like. And last but not least, we are going to need a stapler. So, first thing we need for our pop-up pufferfish is the fish's body. Now, I used orange for this one. I think I'm going to use a little red for my next fish. And for this, I need to cut out the shape of a long rectangle. A nice long red rectangle. And then I'm going to want to take some markers so I can draw on the fish's mouth. I made it nice and wide because pufferfish are always going And I also drew on some little spikes because pufferfish, they can be a little bit spiky too. So once you do that, it's gonna look like this. You can see my little spikes nice and close, and there's my fish's mouth. So now I'm gonna need to give this fish a pair of eyes. And you can use a marker and draw them right on the paper. I decided to cut out 2 circles and make them into eyes. So I'm actually gonna use my glue stick now, and I'm just gonna glue these eyes right on to my fish, and I'm gonna put them just over the mouth. I need 1 eye for my fish and 2. So now that I have the eyes on, I am going to roll my paper. So I'm going to curve it back. This is a really fun way that we get to use our hands and practice those nice skills that we can do with our hands. So once I have it like this, I'm going to take my stapler and I'm going to slide it just right in there and put a staple to hold it in place. You can see my staple there. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Ooh, didn't go in that time. All right, my stapler is giving me a little bit of trouble. Come on, stapler. Don't you know we're making pop-up pufferfish today? There we go. Now it's cooperating. So I have 2 staples in on either side. And when I flip it around, there's my fish's face. Now I also need to give my fish a pair of fins. So I'm going to cut those out, and I'm going to use a little pink paper for this. So I need 2 fins for my pufferfish, and I decide to add lines to them, but you can also decorate your fish any way that you want. And these are going to go right like this inside of the pufferfish. So I'm going to use my glue stick again for this. You can also use tape if you prefer. And I'm just putting a little bit of glue right onto my fin so I can stick it in and paste it. And I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. And this is fun too, because you can really pick any kind of color that you want for these fish, and you can also make any kind of design. That's always the part that I like best about arts and crafts. We get to try lots of different patterns and colors and just make things up from our imagination. So here's my red and pink pufferfish here. And last but not least, I'm going to tape my pufferfish down to a piece of paper. And I'm going to use a little light blue paper here. And I'm going to put my pufferfish a little bit lower toward the bottom because I'm going to draw some bubbles coming up this way. And this time I'm going to use some tape. And I'm going to put a piece of tape just there. And I'll do one on the other side. And now I'm just going to press this fish right down on the paper. And there's my pufferfish. And then you could take your markers and draw some nice circles for bubbles coming up. You can also cut bubbles out of pieces of paper as well. So there's lots of fun different ways that you can do this. And you might even have fish stickers, or maybe you want to draw some extra fish or some seaweed in there. So you can get really creative with how you design your home for your pop-up puffer fish. Well, thank you so much for joining me today and reading those great stories, singing some songs, and doing our craft together. I had a great time with you, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. We are taking a week off next week, but you can always watch plenty of our older videos and maybe discover some new favorites on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook channel as well. So happy holidays, happy New Year, everybody, and I will see you soon. Bye!